Hey everybody, it's Delta from Paul Productions. Normally I don't do videos where I'm sitting down and stuff, but I figured today I'd do one, kind of like a little rant fest or a talk, whatever you want to, call it. Kind of laid up with injury, so I've had a lot of time to like mill around, think of things, check stuff up on the internet and everything like that. And on YouTube and a lot of stuff over the web, everybody goes this the WROL junk, without rule of law, and something that I and a couple of the other posts, not just posts on the internet, but also on YouTube, is there's this like constant theme of like this whole new concept of stuff that everybody has to kind of like bunch in with prepper and prepping, like it's some new fad that's just like popped up on the block, and nobody's ever seen it before. So anyway, like today I watched a video. I'm not gonna say who they were from, but one's like, oh yeah, jobs aren't going to be different, and you need to have the I noticed all these certain people with their bug out bags and their get home bags, and they don't have the like proper shoes and all this stuff like that. Well, it's like, what happened to putting common sense into preparedness, or even the survivalism as a whole? It's like, is that something that's like lacking out of everybody lately? That this like the common sense out of everybody's skull cave, that they can't think that, geez, if I work an office job and I'm having to wear penny loafers and a polo shirt to work, that if I do call myself a prepper or a survivalist, that maybe inside my bug out bag or inside my truck or my car or my Prius, because it's my, it's good for the gas, that you should have something where you can walk your little sorry butt home besides your penny loafers and your dress socks. To me, that's common sense. It's like, to me, common sense is when I go out on the town, I always wear footwear that can walk me home. I wear Merrell's daily. If not, I'm wearing a really high-end pair of like, running or jogging shoes. Common sense to me. Maybe I'm the only one that's like that. The same thing with the jobs and other things. When supposedly law just dissipates and everybody's running around with Mad Max, with the feral boy, trying to run away from humongous. Just walk away, and I'll let you live. Just walk away. It's like, well, geez, I can't walk away there, Mr. Codpiece, get mask wearing guy, because I'm wearing my penny loafers because I forgot. But hey, I got this really cool get home bug out bag that I got from blah blah blah.com that somebody told me to get. It's all lacking, man. It's people need to really think and put the common back into prepper sense, or whatever. It's like, look forward as day-to-day stuff. Right now I'm probably sure there's probably about a couple people watching this getting all bent out of shape. Well, guess what? If you're getting bent out of shape, more than likely because it pertains to you. All right? Here's an idea. If you're an accountant right now and you're planning for this world without law, or this total flop of the economy, or bipolar platal shift of the continents, and dinosaurs and zombies and aliens coming down and the whole nine yards, think about it. You should you're probably more than likely not going to have a job when money isn't really anything worth more than the paper it's printed on. Again, common sense. If you're a person that has a mechanical skill set, and I say mechanical in the sense of a skilled trade, as in electrician, a plumber, pipe fitter, mechanic, welder, all the things that the people that are making the money, don't know how to do. The people that go, geez, even though I make 125 grand a year, I don't know how to unclog my toilet because my wife decided to put her, monthly due down it, even though she's not supposed to. So they call somebody who makes the money then. Well, guess what? When the world without law, or Tedawaki, or it hits the fan, or whatever you want to call it, happens, well, what are you going to do then? Here, I'm going to pay you, I'll give you $300 to unclog my toilet. It's like, no, it's common sense that the people that have those skill sets in those trade areas are going to be more valuable than the people that don't. And again, back to the common sense thing, it's like, over the last few years, ever since the prepper movement has like skyrocketed, it's like, common sense, man. It's like, it's this reoccurring theme of, oh, guess what? I had this epiphany that those jobs would be more. I had this epiphany that if I wear cotton socks that I may get blisters. I had this this survival epiphany that, you know, if I don't pack the right shoes in my bag, I'm not going to be able to walk X amount of miles. Well, here's an epiphany. If you're extremely overweight, or you're in extreme bad health, or you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to walk anyway. So what's the point? And the same thing with the jobs and stuff. If you don't take the time to learn the skill sets now and stuff, you're not going to be able to turn around and survive if you plan on having any type of, income based on your skill set, which is funny anyway, being as it's supposed to be a, without a rule of law. So without law, then what are you going to do? Barter your skills for what? I mean, you are preparing after all, right? I mean, instead of buying, the $65,000 Tahoe, have you bought that bug out location there and put the money down on it? Did you buy a new boat this summer or plan to this summer? What are you doing to better your chances of survival? Or is it just a fad? Is it an insurance policy to turn around and say, hey, I have, X amount of buckets put up in my place and I'm done? Or is it you're just riding the panic wave and trying to cash in on it by, having that common sense epiphany over the last 4 years to be able to spout off to everybody? For like I said, this was more of like a rant. I usually don't sit in front of the camera and do this, but for some reason, I had this epiphany that I had to. Whether you all like it or not, personally, I can give a rat's ass. But the thing is, it's like we really need to think about how we're going to survive, not just in a monetary sense, not just in our amount of prep sense or anything like that. It's a whole picture. It's like, okay, cool, you're going to be worried about your world without law. Well, guess what? Next week when you break your leg at work and you get laid off, and because you're in debt because you bought pallets of Mountain House, and you read on some blog that just got started a year ago that I need to go off and buy 16 Berkeys or whatever from some guy that's plugging them on every freaking website, and you're broke and you're in debt, then you're no better than, like for example, the other week there was a guy that posted that junk on survival blog about, oh, look at me, I'm totally freaking upside down in the hole, and I just shafted everybody by claiming bankruptcy. Do you want to be that guy? Do you want to be the guy that's like, look at me, I'm better than the entitlement mentality that's really just dragging the freaking system down, which is dragging the whole nation down at this moment, that everybody wants here? Give me. It's like right now, it's like, look at how many people are running to somebody else's thing screaming, oh, the NWO is out to get him, tinfoil hat, Alex Jones, the whole 9 yards, because somebody opened this right here, OPSEC. Common sense, right back to it, OPSEC. Loose lips sink ships, people. You don't go and you tell people, yeah, by the way, I feel like going up on the bell tower and making some good ones. Ha 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 ha. Nudge nudge. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Wink wink. And did not expect for the hammer to fall on top of you. A good friend of mine through the Survival Report blog used to say, when I used to rant to him all the time and we used to hang out, is that the biggest, the nail that sticks up the furthest is the one that's going to get the hammer. And that's what's going to happen, people. Common sense again. So when y'all are like watching stuff and reading stuff and trying to learn, take everything you can from it. It's like, I mean, trust me, I got one of the YouTube channels up right on my computer right here across from me, and I'm sitting there going, wow, this guy's a freaking dope. Yeah, but first off, I had to click off the 17 adverts that kept popping off on his screen for his preparedness company and everything else to be able to listen to him tell me common sense wise that I need to have like a water filter to be able to survive. But learn, take everything from it, but at the same time, use some common sense when y'all are preparing. Don't plan for crazy shit. Yeah, it makes for good TV, and we can see how the backlash of all that's falling out for everybody right now and on the web forums. Now they have their 15 minutes of fame and their little regret. It's like the girl who just got drunk on prom, and now she's regretting that she went out with Tommy from the football team. It's the same deal. It's like, listen, use your brain, use some common sense, prepare. Prepare wisely, and worry about your family stuff, not so much about what everybody else has and what they're doing. So that's probably my biggest message. Common sense. It's always been there. It's not something that's new, people. Just look and think and go with it, alright? So I'm Delta. Hopefully this will be the only time I sit in front of the computer and the camera and rant and rave to you, and you know, you'll be able to have my gear reviews that, you know, with the gear that I buy myself, and everybody can complain about how the camera and the microphone sucks or something. So Delta. Make sure you go to survivalpreparedness.com and make sure you listen to their podcast that's on now. You know, the RH from Survival Reports, been around the block, you know, since the early 90s, people. He knows what he's talking about, and common sense hasn't lapsed or passed him by any means. So make sure you listen to his podcast, come by the forums, support him, and support the forums. Common sense, you know, not something new. It's always been there. Whether or not this new group of preppers has totally forgotten about it is up to them. Don't be one of them. Think about it and learn from it. Again, I'm Delta. See you all around.